And today what we now want to do is going from the individual more to the collective, the team, the people that we work with. And so we want to look at how can we actually apply human design also in the concept of teams. So with that, Renske, what I'm curious, so as we spoke about last week, I'm a manifesting generator.
Yeah.
So in terms of teams, I mean, you were saying families are teams, work teams are teams, basically any sort of like human conglomerate that we decide to be part of is effectively a team. So how do you look at it from the human design perspective? Like where do you see are things matching? And yeah, just take me through the process a bit.
Well, first of all, you have your type, right? There are 5 different energy types in human design, but of course, everybody also has his own individual blueprint, what works for you and what doesn't. But last week we tapped into this person that was in a company and not doing the work what really suits his profile. He couldn't finish projects, and he got into trouble. So when he was transferred to a job which was only starting up projects and not having to finish them because other people were doing that, he was really happy at work and everything went smooth. So depending on your energy type, it's also depending on, for example, manifestors might not be the best team players. They are here to initiate. They don't want to always ask for permission to start a project. They are, when they feel something that needs to be happen or needs to be initiated, they can bring amazing concepts into the world, amazing innovative ideas and projects. A manifesting generator like you, for example, likes to multitask and likes to skip steps, which for not everybody is okay to deal with in a working environment. When you work in a big team, people like to follow you. This is why, without getting too much in the nitty-gritty for people to still understand this, your strategy as a manifesting generator is to respond also on what's happening outside of you. So it's time, it's the right timing for you to start to doing this, but also to inform others about what you're going to do, especially in big teams. As an entrepreneur and you have your own business, then and you are, leading your business by yourself, like you have a small business, okay, you can do whatever, you can skip your steps, but as a manifesting generator, it's really, really practical, actually part of your strategy to also inform other people, because you move too fast for others. And not only for other manifesting generators, for example, they move fast as well. Let's say you are working in a team with only manifesting generators, then you're like, yeah, but they are fast as well. They skip steps, so they might understand me. But of course, they don't know what what you plan to do. So informing others is really, really important for you. Projectors, for example, they are not built to work a 9-to-5 job or work over hours all the time. They don't have that sustainable energy like a manifesting generator. They don't like to skip steps. They like to really master something. Generators as well. They have a different learning curve than manifesting generators. So when you understand that, in working environments, in a team, or at home, or with your partner, or it really, really makes a difference in how you put everybody in their own part of what they are really meant to be doing, and you see that things start flowing again.
So is there certain, let's say, setups where you would say, for example, I'm really interested in high performance and high performing teams. So I sort of from the world of software as well, where it's, all about like lean and agile and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. But then, there's so much focus on basically creating teams, it's just like norming, forming, storming, performing, blah, blah, blah. But it's ultimately, I personally often look at it, okay, if people have a joint vision, mm-hmm. where they actually self-select, like, this excites me, then I feel teams perform just so much better. But then now taking sort of this human design perspective, I'd be really interested in hearing if there's certain, let's say, archetypical, team setups, for example, that are working better than others.
There probably are, but I don't. It's not that I think also, like I said, every individual has their own blueprint as well. So yes, if you want, like a manifestor is a great leader, an initiator. He or she really is here to innovate, to bring new ideas. So you can imagine that person is really a good team leader, and make other people do the work. Yeah, that sounds a little bit like the manifestor is not working. Yes, he or she is working, but in the role of what they need to be, how they want to show up in the world. Put them in in the nitty gritty and having to respond and inform others constantly about every little step that they need to make. They probably will not feel very happy at work. They really, so in that sense, yes, definitely. Projectors are really good guiders, like mentors, coaches, guides, managers, because team leaders, because they really see through a system, like energetically. They really see, like, is what we're setting up here in this project, is it really worth, is it really worth all the energy that we're going to put in? But the manifesting generators are like, go, go, go. They see new possibilities. They want to respond on everything that's going outside. They want to skip steps. They want to, try different things out. And if it's not working, they go back to another thing. So those are really, really good to have in your team as well. In that sense, everybody is exactly perfect how they are, right? I don't believe in any mistakes. So it's just when you're not feeling happy at work or in your family or whatever team, because we're talking about teams, you are in, go back to, a human design session could really help for a working team in a working environment, or for families. Like, okay, what kind of system am I in? And what's my role in this system? And am I honoring my energy? Am I honoring how I am built? And is the other person honoring how I am built? And vice versa. Am I honoring them, like how they are built? So that insight is really helpful. I also really like the fact that you just mentioned, but when, teams really, the first thing every team needs to be doing, of course, and this is not me coming from human design, but it's just a given fact, right? If we all focus on what needs to be done, and if it's purposeful, if we all believe in the project that we're going to do together, that's step one, of course, right? You can put whatever person on the job, but if the, if people are not looking in the same direction, it's not going to work anyway, right? So that's when it comes to purpose-driven and based on values, important values for the company. Yeah, that's a very, very important aspect, of course. Yeah.
So when we speak about manifesting generators, often to me, it sounds like these people are kind of like the innovators, the people that make things happen. So, for example, I was working as a student assistant for a professor at Stanford who did a lot of design thinking work, and it was basically all about like try, test, test again, iterate, test again. And so when you're just speaking about the manifesting generators in teams, consistently being like, okay, cool, this doesn't work, try something else. This doesn't work, okay, try something else. Okay, this works. Now where to go next? So effectively, let's say the bulk of a team is made up by people who are sort of manifesting generators, people who have that sustainable energy coming from within. And then, because I find myself in an interesting spot, I mean, I am the one with like lots and lots of ideas, but I'm also like, for example, with Superhumans, I'm the one who's in a way kind of like leading this. And so I'm now, but also handing off things. And so it's really quite fascinating, because I actually want to see if basically my people are keen to like do this, so that we can get an understanding on their human design readings.
Mm-hmm.
to then see, even though I started a project, maybe I'm actually better sort of like in this future role of, continuously seeing, okay, this is a new sprout who wants to sort of like take this on. This is a new sprout who wants to take this on. And then basically, yeah, just unearthing these opportunities in a way. However, then finding people who have more sort of sustained interest in that particular area. So which, from your perspective, would then be like the projectors that sort of like continue to nurture. Is that, if I'm understanding it correctly?
Well, what you also said about yourself is also very true as a manifesting generator. You like to start also new things, and you like to try it all, and you like to skip steps, and you like to, but manifesting generators can also lose interest. They really need to be supported in, of course, it's a little bit uncomfortable in working environments, like, oh, I lost my interest and now I'm going to do that. But it's very normal for manifesting generators to feel like, oh, wow, I want to try 10 things at the same time, but now I lost my interest in that thing that I just set up. Or what the thing is, when you, as a manifesting generator, for example, with a partner at home, they probably cannot follow you all the time. And then yesterday you were really into this thing, but now you are really into that thing, and that's just how you are built. And you need to try it all, because this is where innovation takes place. This is where you come up with things that light you up, things that you find important, and those are not a mistake. Things that light us up are never a mistake. So manifesting generators are also the types that can easily say, I don't know, change their thoughts about a decision that they make, and then the partner or somebody else in the team at work is like, but yesterday you said, yeah, but we're going to do it different now because I just came up with this idea. And like, dude, I can't follow you here. And you're like, you are already 5 steps ahead. You're skipping the steps. And this is what lights you up right now, So in that sense, again, coming back to strategy, what I keep pushing like all the attention towards is like, your strategy is, yes, to respond on whatever happens outside. And I'm going to do it like this right now. And my team just needs to follow me. No, inform them as well. Inform them why you are going to do this, why you think this is a good idea. And your team will be like, yep, we're going to do this. You asked me about where a projector would fit in. I'm not saying that a projector can never work at I've worked in offices, I've worked at jobs that were not 9 to 5. They were really, really, I don't know, sometimes 10 hours a day, or, film industry, music industry, come on. But when you're not aware of your energy type and how, when it's time to really rest or take your break, or that's where it can go wrong, definitely. And a projector, like I said, is really, really good in seeing through systems and energy. And I keep talking about energy, but they can, for example, they can, when you come with your new ideas and you're like, I feel this now, I need to be doing this, then the projector might be able to say, Toby, yeah. But, all the effort that you're going to put in right now, it might not be worth it. It might end up in a disaster because you didn't think about this, or it can guide you. It's like, it can guide you also as a sounding board, right? Yeah. Sometimes projectors see it coming. They see it coming where things, if it's worth the investment of starting a project. Manifesting generators like, but I need to try this and I need to skip steps. And if I feel that it's not working, I either skip the entire project or I'm going back a few steps, which can cause frustration.
It's so interesting that you say that. I definitely see myself so much in this stuff. Like, yeah, let's go try it. Let's check it out. And then, I mean, especially what you said around I might change my mind like tomorrow or 2 days from now, or maybe a month from now. And it's really where I definitely found myself in especially around Superhumans as well. because in the beginning, when it was just me sort of like dabbling, I was like, yeah, cool. Let's see what works, what doesn't work, and be very sort of like opportunistic and experimental. You know, like let's throw out a hypothesis. Cool.
Yeah.
This works, let's do more of it. This doesn't work, let's not do more of it. And then, but I feel what you're really highlighting that I'll definitely take on board is this full communication piece. Because then suddenly when sort of a team started emerging, it's like, man, and this is where I find this really interesting tendency in me. On the one hand, yes, it's really cool to see people wanting to sort of like support the mission that I'm on and then really feel like inspired, and it feels, yeah, it feels like very, very honoring. It's like, man, you know, I obviously tapped into something that other people resonate with, which is really cool. And at the same time, there's this level of resentment of like, man, I don't want to like need to communicate. I just would love if people could just read my mind, and I wouldn't need to basically crystallize the thought into something.
Yeah, it's because you feel it's holding you back. You move so fast.
Yeah.
You're already at the next thing, but people are still getting used to or integrating the thing that you just implemented. But you're already 5 steps further. That's what you feel. But
so how would I then? Okay,
yeah.
good. So how would I then ideally, basically, kind of, set up my partnership or also working relationships? Because ultimately, so I did a work with Stephen Kotler on flow, for example, and one of his things was on his no list, no meetings with more than 3 people. And I actually feel really similar. I feel like once I meet with someone one-on-one, things can get done. If I meet with like 3 or 4 people, it's like, oh, actually, that it seems like there's actually a certain inefficiency built in. So I'm curious to hear if you have any perspectives on how to best structure my interactions so that I'm optimizing that fast-moving energy without, and minimizing basically frustration.
Well, it all comes back to your strategy again. Honor your strategy, which means respond and inform. You really need to respond to something that is happening outside of you to be able to make the process that you are responding to, or projects that you want to build up or start, or the frustration is coming because you feel like you've been pulled back. Things are not going fast enough. You don't like to communicate all your steps. And I can definitely feel you when you say, well, with 3 people, obviously you like that better because it moves faster. You don't have to inform 20 people in that meeting, or 10. But the 3 of them, they might fall, it's faster. You like fast. And you only have to inform or talk with 3 other people instead of 20. But if you honor your strategy, if you are working with a big or a small team, which is respond to something outside of you and inform the other people about what you want to be doing, the steps that you're going to take, you will see that things will go smoothly for you. A lot more smooth than when you don't do that. Your mind works fast.
Okay, let's bring this like to some really tactical steps now. So in terms of the structures that I could put into place. So ultimately, we were saying I work well with like small groups of humans. So how would I then ideally set up my my organization effectively, or maybe like how I make impact? Maybe I only like run like small projects, but a couple of different small projects.
Oh, Toby, I think you can run huge projects. You are also here to bring the world new stuff. You are here to do what you feel that you need to be doing, even if it's starting 10 new projects. If you feel that it needs to be, I think you are very capable of doing that. However, maybe it is a good idea to not wanting to be doing that all by yourself. Maybe there is another team member who is doing the communication for you, right? So it's not about staying or keeping small. That's not why you are here. A projector is very good one-on-one, very good. Sees right through. But as a manifesting generator, why would you stay small when you can? It's just a way. Also just accept that informing others is just very much part of your strategy, Toby. If you really don't like to be doing that for big groups, then work with somebody who does the communication for you.
This is amazing. I feel we shall go deeper onto this over the next cases. I feel there's also those 80-20 rule that allows to basically really tap into zone of genius, and I feel that would be something that I'd love to go into more depth with you tomorrow, because I feel today we really get to the point of what are basically our individual strategies within team context, and how can we come together in our individual zone of geniuses. So that's good.
I want to add one thing before we leave. It's just some maybe people that are listening are like, oh, what are they talking about? I really don't get this, So people can always reach out about human design but I think it is way more important to feel like, yes, I keep hammering on these strategies because they are 80% of whatever is next that you're going to do when you know about your human design. But every person is very unique as well within their own body chart, the body graph in their foundational chart. So looking at a system when it comes to improving team functionality, then it's obviously a really good advice to really dive into the specific team members as well.
Amazing. Let's go more into this tomorrow. Thank you so much for today. It was an amazing start to week.
Thanks, Toby. Likewise.